All right, guys, we're back. Chinocomics&More.
All right, guys. We talked about a few Silver Age books a while back. We talked about Bronze Age books. How about we do some Copper now? What do you think?
Yeah, copper is affordable. Why not?
Intro. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Chino's Comics and More. Again, my name is Chino. This is Manny.
What's up, YouTube? Guys, don't forget to click the subscribe button,
Hope smash the like button.
Superman punch, the notification bell.
And don't forget to share, guys.
All right, guys. We're back, and we're talking about some Copper Age books. So, comic books go Silver Age, Golden Age. Let's not even talk about that.
We want to bring those out, man, because we live in the ghetto, so we don't want the neighbors knowing that we got that golden age books.
That kind of fire. So, we talked about Silver Age books. We've talked about Bronze Age books. And now we want to talk about some Copper Age books. And, Copper Age books, it's right before Modern Age. And typically, they're pretty affordable, man. And believe it or not, there's some damn good keys.
Yeah, there is. And like our theme, man, we're going to stick with our number 8. So let's get rolling, man.
All right, guys. So the first book we're going to talk about is...
And look, the song goes with this.
Go for it. All right, guys. First book we're going to talk about is going to be Transformers #1. Again, this will be a very affordable book. I remember when we were kids, shoot, this was it. This was one of the most popular TV shows.
Yeah, this is a cartoon that we were watching religiously. I actually liked this series and the Beast Wars.
Yeah, and speaking of Beast Wars, there is a new Transformers that they're working on, and the rumor is Beast Wars might be the whole theme they're going after, because they already did this kind of storyline before. But this is a book that you can pick up, man, honestly, for cheap, probably $40, $50, maybe even $100, and you're gonna get a issue number 1, and the first appearance of Transformers, Optimus Prime and so on, so this is a good book to pick up, man. And again, it's gonna be number 8. This is gonna start us off. All right, so that's gonna be the first book we talk about. The next book, number 7 on our list, is gonna be Avengers 257. Now, why is this book even famous? Why is it even popular? Honestly, this is a sleeper.
Yeah, this is probably one that people. I think at one point it was on people's radar.
Yeah, but it's really underappreciated and very undervalued, if you ask my opinion.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, man, this is everybody's favorite Jumanji star, Nebula, man.
Yeah, this is gonna be the first appearance of Nebula. So again, guys, this might be a book that you can probably find in the dollar bin sometimes. People really sleep on this book, man. It took a while for it to kind of start heating up, and then like anything, it cooled off. And this is probably a book you probably find on the high end, maybe for like $50, yeah, honestly. But I wouldn't be shocked if you found this for a few dollars if you go to maybe thrift stores or even flea markets and stuff like that,
or half price books. Yeah. And again, if you see it, you can pick up a pretty good grade of this book for pretty cheap. And yeah, Nebula's not going anywhere. So if you're big into buying, books, spec books, or just books that have your favorite characters in the movies,
or a first appearance, man.
Yeah, it's not a bad book.
Yeah, that was number 7. The next book we have on our list is going to be number 6. And this book is going to be, everyone knows about this book. And this has a little bit of controversy to a certain degree, because is it or is it not the first appearance of the black suit? And it's going to be Secret Wars number 8. Again, you have Spider-Man with the black suit. So you could say this is like the origin of the symbiote suit. Some people say it's the first appearance of the black suit. There's multiple books that kind of fall in line with this, but this one here is very iconic cover. Plenty of books have paid homage to it. So this is a book that if you find, I recommend you pick it up, because you just can't get enough of this cover. And
this is a book, quite honestly, man, it's been on a lot of people's radar. I love Black Suit Venom, Spider-Man. So
yeah, the Black Suit Spider-Man, yeah.
So to be honest with you, and this is just our opinion, I think the next big event is going to be Secret Wars. The Russo brothers have talked about it, and I think, yeah, I don't think they'll do Venom, kind of like origin of the symbiote suit going into Spider-Man. I think they would do it in this version, if he ever does wear that black suit.
Yeah, and the other book is kind of famous for this. It's going to be ASM, or Amazing Spider-Man 252. But we wanted to kind of give a spotlight to this book. I love this cover, man. Again, they pay plenty homages to this book, and again, Secret Wars or Secret Invasion, I think is coming up next with the whole MCU. But at this point, it's just kind of our thinking, our speculation. And we're not the only ones that are thinking that way.
There's a lot of people,
but it's not confirmed.
Yeah, and again, they even this storyline is so popular that even in the '90s Spider-Man anime, they made this kind of version of it with the the Beyonder, who was orchestrating everything, and it was a good matchup, man. I think this is very early on when we were barely getting into more and more into comic books, so that was like the very first time that we as kids got to see what we're seeing now as adults is the Avengers and hopefully the X-Men and Fantastic Four coming together to just smash on each other.
Yeah. All right. The next book we have is number 5 on the list. And this book here doesn't really need any introduction. I think for the most part, he's a very, very popular character. And it's going to be the Omega Men, number 3. And it's going to be the first appearance of Lobo. I mean, honestly, Lobo doesn't really look this way anymore. He kind of looks like the lead singer of Kiss. But, you know, this is a cheap little sleeper, man. I mean, honestly, you can get this key for maybe, you know, $50 to $80, you know, give or take in his raw condition. And it's the first appearance of Lobo. I mean, he's kind of like...
Nah, don't even say it. He's not Wolverine, man. He's kind
of like Chino.
Nah.
The fake Wolverine.
Nah. Look, nothing like Wolverine, man. I don't know why they make that comparison.
People say he is like Wolverine, but I guess you could say this is DC's version of Wolverine.
You know, DC does have the cheaper versions of the high quality kind of Marvel superheroes, man.
He's a big Wolverine fan, so of course he's gonna say something like that. So again, that's number 5 on the list. Again, it's a pretty affordable book, I would say. I mean, usually you can find that book, you know, pretty.
Anyway, I'm gonna give it away today, man. I can have it.
he's butthurt. The next book we have on our list is gonna be number 4, and this book right here, again, is a pretty popular character. Honestly, I feel like this book, it also kind of has a little bit of controversy, which is the first appearance. But it's gonna be X-Men 266, the first appearance of Gambit. Some people say it's the second appearance because he came out in an annual, but you know, for the most part, it's kind of recognized as the first appearance. I think CGC, CBCS, and them they kind of recognize it as the first appearance.
And that's all that matters, man. Whatever they put on that label, man. I mean, it's what it is, man. I mean, you're buying these books and you're buying off labels, man. If they say if it's the annual first appearance, then this will go to second appearance. But as long as those guys are saying it and everyone else,
and the community is saying this is the first appearance,
then I mean, it is what it is. I mean, people just like bumping heads. It is what it is.
And again, this is another book that honestly you can get for pretty cheap. I think Gambit is overdue for maybe a really, really good character to come out in the MCU. I think they could really do it justice.
Not with Shentano, man. I think they're
no,
axing him.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think it'll be cool if they do bring Gambit in because he was a fan favorite when we were young. I know in the cartoons. I mean, this dude was you know, I mean,
he was actually my favorite in the actual cartoons.
Him,
I like Gambit a little bit more than Wolverine simply because he had like the suave, kind of like the cool, and then he had Rogue.
And he had like the chill demeanor, like, you know, nothing really kind of rattled him. You know, he was always just kind of like laid back.
Yeah, he was always laid back and kind of cool. And like I said, you know, he was spitting game at an early age. We didn't catch it, but he was. And Wolverine was just getting dissed left and right by Jean Grey.
He was, man. You know, poor Wolverine. I don't know. I think he has like the award for the most dumps or letdowns. You know, but he had his fair share of women too. But again, Gambit.
Not in the cartoons, man. In the cartoons, he was
getting dissed left and right.
I think he basically was obsessed with Jean Grey, and he was in the movies too. But at least in the movies, man, they kind of
toned it down a little bit.
No, well, you kind of saw that Jean Grey was, you know, digging them, you know, like
he had somewhat of a chance.
Like a lot of females dig me, you know.
I don't know. The next book has to be number 3 on the list, and he almost made me lose my train of thought. And this is gonna be a book, honestly. The other book I'm gonna mention is more popular, which will be New Mutants 98. But New Mutants 87. I'm sorry, New Mutants 87 is gonna be the first appearance of Cable. And honestly, it's a book, man. I know he was very popular back in the 90s, give or take. And I know he's kind of tanked a little bit, but honestly, man, it's the first appearance of Cable. And, you know, he's the son of Cyclops and
Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, well, you know, it was at one point, I guess people assumed it was Jean Grey, but, you know, Chino, man, that boy's been reading of
I know my X-Men, man. If you try to quiz me on X-Men, man, you're going to land flat on your face.
So, you know what? On the comments, leave a question for Chino to answer, and if you leave a good question, he might answer it.
Yeah. I'm your Wikipedia of X-Men, man.
Or he's going to probably look it up. But again,
I'll look it up, man.
Again, this is a book, honestly, that you can probably get for pretty cheap. At one point, it was pretty expensive. Sometimes at some points, it was more expensive than Deadpool's first appearance. But now this book is, you know, it's falling off the radar. But again, this is a book. This is when you want to pick up books, when they're off people's radar. Yeah. Don't pick up the books when they're hot. That's when they're more expensive.
Unless you want to spend your money, we'll put them on our back wall. You can buy them all day.
Yeah, you can buy them all day, man. But yeah, again, Cable, pretty cool character, man. Again, he's somewhat underappreciated. This dude is very powerful, and he's always going against Apocalypse. So I know the last movie wasn't that great with Apocalypse, but again, a first appearance at affordable price, maybe about $80, give or take. If it's great, it's probably more.
And you just know that it wasn't great because you didn't have Cable in the X-Men movie.
True.
I mean, when you saw the cartoon very early on,
it was established,
and they introduced this guy, you saw that there was a little bit of a backstory, and he's always been more so Cable's villain, villain that he's always fighting.
Yeah, and so again, Chino nailed it. I mean, you do make a really good point. Cable wasn't in the movies, and the movies were what it was, man. We're getting past that. We're now into a whole different phase. We're into the whole Disney and Marvel phase.
Yeah, me and Kevin Feige, we're gonna write the future of the X-Men universe, man.
Yeah, he must know something I don't know. The next book we have is gonna be number 2 on the list, and this is gonna be a book that honestly, some people might even say it's probably one of the best series ever. It's up there as being considered one of the best series ever. It's gonna be Watchmen number 1. Again, if you guys didn't see the show on HBO, the recent show on HBO was damn good. It didn't have much to do with this book itself.
I actually liked it more than the movie.
Because the movie wasn't really based too much, or it wasn't as page for page as the book is. That's why the movie wasn't that great. But the Watchmen, this series, is one that you should own. At least pick up the trade paperback. But if not, it's a good book to pick up, man. It's sometimes underappreciated. People kind of have fallen off on this book, but it's a really cool book, man. And again, Dr. Manhattan, all the characters in this storyline is damn good. And DC they're known for having some really good storylines, man.
And I mean, HBO did a hell of a job with the last series, man. I mean,
it was damn good.
The very first episode was a little bit out there. It was good, but it had you thinking. And then second, third, and from there on out, man, it was just a great show. If you guys missed it, you need to go back and watch that, man.
Yeah, man. Borrow somebody's HBO password, man, and sign.
Yeah, my password is Chinocomics&More.
And it might be. I wouldn't be surprised. The number 1 book in our list, and again, if I were to go back, I didn't really put them in the order that I would say pick up these books in these numerical order, but I kind of did put them in the place where I think they belong. This book here, again, is going to be our number 1 book on our list for Copper Age books to pick up. It might be your number 8 or it might be your number 10. I don't know, but this is going to be King Size Annual Avengers number 10. It's going to be the first appearance of Rogue. Again, this is a book that people have either fallen in love with or kind of fell off, and it's Rogue. Rogue's the first appearance, man. I mean, he just named, he's talking about Gambit, he talked about Rogue. You really can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And again,
that's why the X-Men movie sucked. Because they didn't have Gambit, man. You didn't have Gambit and the Rogue character.
They're missing their
counterparts, man. They're missing their counterparts. So
kind of like if we eliminate from this whole segment.
Yeah, the show would tank, man.
It probably would tank.
It would tank.
Or it might blow up.
If we eliminated Manny from the show, then it would probably get higher ratings, man. But no,
we'll probably have about 100 likes.
But
thumbs up,
but that's what it is. I think when you're missing that interaction, that little back and forth that we have, that
they had with he's chasing her, stuff like that.
Yeah, he's chasing her, and they just changed it all up, man. It didn't sync well because when you're growing up watching the animated cartoons, reading the books, you see that, you see Rogue and you see Gambit.
Yeah, and there's speculation out there. There's a theory out there that Rogue might be introduced in the Captain Marvel movie number 2. I don't know if it's going to happen, but again, we're talking about just first appearances that you can buy on the cheap. Look it up. You can find this book for pretty cheap. Even when they got hot, it didn't really blow up. But again, let it cool off. But this is a book that you should probably add to your collection. I think, you can't go wrong with Rogue's first appearance. And if they ever do introduce it to MCU, well, you know what? You got your book, man.
And going back to that, I think that if they do introduce her, which is pretty cool. If you go back and look at the Captain Marvel movie, which was not a lot of people's favorite movie, they kind of I think they just kind of compared it too much to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman and even Birds of Prey, great movies, man. DC is doing a hell of a job.
Yeah.
But going back to, if you go watch that movie, she doesn't have recollection of what went on, so they can easily just insert Rogue going in there, stealing her power, giving her amnesia, and then there you go, you're introduced.
Yeah, and you know, we'll see what they end up doing with that. But what we want to do, guys, is show you 8 books that I think, you know, if they're not on your radar, you can probably add them now to your list. And if you have them, you know, let us know what books you do have on, you know, on this list that we should all have. If you have 3 out of 8, you have all 8, even better. Again, you know, don't forget to Hulk smash the like button, subscribe to the damn channel, and share the channel.
Yeah, share it. And again, I mean, if you have all 8, man, you're like us, man. You like to score a lot, so.
Yeah, and with that, guys, you got Chino, you got myself, Manny. We're out, man.
Monster, we're out.
We're out.